just do the DBAs for the automatic.
Mhm.
Okay, we're connected.
Okay, I have, honey.
Okay, ready?
Mhm.
Good morning.
We're gonna call the meeting to order.
Morning. Um, Let the record reflect, this is the meeting of the LaPorte County Alcoholic Beverage Board, this 4th day of June, 2026. The members of the local board number 2 are myself, Lisa Daniel King.
Rodney McCormick Senior,
And-
LaPorte County.
And Michelle Trevor with State Excise Police.
Okay, are there any persons here who wish to voice opposition to any permits on the agenda today? Okay, if so, be sure you have signed in, then please stand, state the permit you wish to remonstrate against and remain standing.
Is there a signage?
Yeah, I will make one. What do you tell me? Oops, yep. Make sure you put your address, your phone number, and whether you're for or against, and what place it is, please.
This is all board one.
I think so,
Is this?
but we still gotta,
Yeah, it's-
Take time. yeah.
Slow.
You can sit up here if you want to, if your ears better.
Is it your pin?
No,
Okay, yeah.
For against the license. How do you want to designate that? It would it for the license just on this sheet?
yeah, what do you mean, how do you want us to designate it?
You said which license they're remonstrating against, so. What do you want to put on that, the DL number?
Here's the
You can just put Burke's,
Verbs.
Burke's number 5, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Is there anybody remonstrating against anything other than Burke's number 5? No, okay.
I'm talking.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That's all right. It's probably good. Cause then it just adds to,
Yes.
yeah, adds to it. Yeah, I was not prepared for remonstrators. They didn't, nobody gave me a heads up. There was gonna be remonstrators, so.
Yeah, it was in the McCormick.
I think I know how one. I don't know.
I don't know.
This is good. This is one for the ATC, put it that way. For sure. Mm-hmm. So you can just go back.
That's right.
Oh, it's a little bit warm in here. I didn't turn the air on before, but it gets too loud to have it on during the meeting, so. I like the warm, so that's why I didn't think to turn it on.
It's a nice facility they got.
Um,
They got all this board to me.
Yeah.
Mhm. This is all board one.
Board one.
Yeah, that's all board one. There's none for board two.
Okay.
We see the list.
Four.
Well, gotta wait on the list.
Yeah.
The list.
Thanks, Frank.
You.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would all of you that just signed that list please stand? Okay, well, all persons in attendance seeking a new permit, requesting a change of location or ownership, or seeking a renewal after violation, please stand with the remonstrators. Raise your right hand.
Anyone testifying this morning, new permit, transfer of ownership, transfer of location, renewal after a violation, or remonstrating wanting to speak to the board? Stand and raise your right hand. Always seems to be some confusion.
Okay, so do each of you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the answers that you have given on your application or any testimony you may give or in response to any questions asked by this board to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you. Good see. Okay, so we'll start with board number 2.
Yep.
I have 2 automatic renewals today. I have DBA Knights of Columbus, number 1542. And I have DBA The Red Door Lounge.
Move to approve, renewal.
I'll second that.
To,
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, the next one I have is DBA Third Base Bar and Grill. Ken?
Yes.
Permit number.
Permit number RR 4604195. Can you please come up and sit down? State your name.
Kent Johnson?
And you are the owner?
Yes.
Okay, this was a violation back in March of this year. It was initiated by a place of last drink investigation. But somebody had left and hurt somebody or hurt themselves. And then
I don't know about that.
don't know about it?
I don't recall anybody being hurt.
Okay,
That was just a DUI.
okay. I don't know either. I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know
It come to find out
that's why they showed up.
right? They did not cite you for any, over serving or anything like that because they could not
Right.
basically, conclude that any of that, occurred. However, you had employees without permits and
Employee,
records,
employee. not
Okay.
Plural.
and you didn't have records of their employee permits.
That's not true. They're
Well,
all on file.
they didn't have them when the officers were there.
Yes, they were all there. I spoke to the officer.
Okay,
It was just expired.
okay, so you
That
had an
recording's
expired
accurate.
record.
It had one expired employee, not employees, not multiple.
I said okay to
Oh,
that.
okay.
Okay, do we want to sit here and argue already this morning?
No, I'm just.
I said
making sure the
okay.
Facts are okay.
Yeah, but you had a record of an expired permit, which means you didn't have a record of a current permit. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so there's a violation for an employee without a permit
Correct.
and a lack of record.
For that one employee, yes.
Okay, you paid a $500 fine.
Yes,
How long have you owned the bar?
20 years.
How many violations have you had?
I think this is my second.
Okay, have you ever had a violation like this before?
No,
So why the expired permit? What happened?
it was 7 days expired. We didn't keep track of those employees, apparently.
Why not?
They weren't on our, date tickle file, so we just missed it. It was
Why were
7
they
days
not-
expired.
Why were they not on there?
They just fell through the cracks, I guess.
So who manages the bar?
I have my wife and I guess me. I don't really manage it. I'm just.
Well, clearly you don't manage it if the permits are expired, you got employees
Permits.
working
It
there.
was one permit.
So clearly you're not managing it well if you have an employee working without a permit.
Mistakes happen.
Okay, so what are you gonna do to prevent the mistake from
We have
happening
them
again?
logged in- They're all logged in with a 1 month prior to expiration that pop up now.
Okay, so you did that as of March, when the
Well, they were
violation,
on it. Apparently someone missed it.
okay, so they were supposed to pop up a month prior before, but they didn't,
Right.
and now.
I
So-
lost my bookkeeper of 20 years or 19 years this year, so things are a little in mayhem, taxes, everything.
Sounds like you got some problems.
They got hired out, got a new person now, so yeah.
Questions?
You keep, excuse me, you keep saying 7 days expired. Did you get leeway because 7 days expired, or was it just expired and?
It was expired, it was 7 days over or past the expiration, yeah.
And you said log in, so what is the system that you log into? You log all your servers into?
Well, we have QuickBooks online and then we also have, just, through an iPhone, just, what do you call it? Just your calendar. So everything's logged into both now. So my bookkeeper, who only works for me 1 day a week, has it, so it pops up on a reminder a month prior, as does the manager. Pops up on her daily reminder as well.
So this shouldn't happen again, huh?
No. It's never happened in the past.
And you had a violation in the past, correct?
Yes, about, I would say 9 years ago, I think I had one. And it was a bartender served excise and you know how they bring in the minor. Served one,
Served to underage.
served, yes.
Failed a compliance check.
Yeah, we alleviated that as well.
And you paid $500,
Yes,
owned up to it.
yes.
I have no other questions.
I don't either.
I have one.
I move for a 1-year renewal.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion for 1-year renewals and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
All right, thanks.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the May minutes.
He said he wasn't.
Oh, you
Okay, I can,
can
all right.
Second.
second it.
Second it, so we have a first and a motion and a second for approval of the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Board number 2 is adjourned, board 2, 10:13.
Okay, we'll call to order the meeting, for LaPorte Board number 1 at, 10:13 a.m. Members of this board are myself, Michelle Trauber with the State Excise Police.
Tommy Kolovic, Michigan City.
Rodney McCormick, LaPorte County.
Okay, automatic renewals on the agenda. We have a Kruger's Corner Club in La Crosse, the Brewery Lodge in Michigan City Family Center, Loyal Order of Moose, number 980, Cafe Farina, Michigan City, and Memo's House of Pancakes in Trail Creek. No violations on any of those.
I move to approve the automatic renewals.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next on the agenda, anyone here from any of those locations? Okay, next on the agenda, we have King Richard's Wine and Spirits. This is a renewal after a violation, DL 460594. You want to come up?
Oh.
Good morning. You state your name for the record, please.
Ethan Patil.
Frank Augustino.
Okay, this was a violation that unfortunately we had to continue last month. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But at least you're gonna be here anyway today, right? This was a sale to a minor violation that happened in June of 25, so it's been a year. Paid $1,000 fine. There was also a sale to a minor, in January of 2020 where you paid $1,000 fine and had a 1-day suspension. So, do you want to talk about the most recent incident, the June of 25?
Yeah, so it was done by Thomas. He has been there for maybe more than like 15 years, and this was the first time he missed. And we did have him do the training and everything again, and we also told him about the consequences of doing it. So we have been keeping an eye, like, and we also have a software where they can check the ID like every time they do a transaction. So
Okay, so did you, so I'm gonna bombard you with questions. This was not the same clerk from
No,
2020? Okay, and then since June of 25, when this happened, you got new software?
no, we already had it, but
Already had it.
like sometimes they bypass it. So we enforce them to use it like with all the transaction.
Okay, is that where they have to scan the ID?
Yeah, they can scan the ID, and it will show the date on the screen, like the age.
Okay,
Yeah.
or they can manually put the birth date in, or no?
No,
No.
means they have to scan it to pop up.
Okay, so what if somebody that looks over 40, because we know everybody under 40 will have their
Yeah,
ID
so-
on them,
that's
but
what
if they look over 40 and they don't have their ID?
Yeah, then they bypass it. That's why like, so we
Okay,
are trying to enforce that please make sure that you card everybody, or at least keep an eye
Okay.
of the age.
okay, so you're trying to really make sure everybody gets carded, although there might be exceptions.
Exceptions.
Okay.
Yeah, because some daily regular customers don't like being carded.
Okay, paid $1,000 fine twice for selling to minors.
Actually, and the last time it was more serious because we had to close the store for a day. So
mhm.
we try to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Okay, how long have you owned this store now?
About 22 years.
Okay, and that was like your first store that you got, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I've been around a little bit. I remember that, like, okay, I don't think I have any more questions. Do you guys?
Thomas is obviously he's the clerk. He's still with you.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Tommy, you got any?
How many other locations do you own in Michigan City?
Means we have partners, but we have 4 in
Okay.
Michigan City, yeah.
I know you've been around a long time, you do a really good business, you got a great volume, great employees, all that. So, I just think, God's finally caught up. You do such a great volume of business there, sooner or later, you're gonna, sell to a minor, and, you have to
Yeah.
pay the fine, and you have to come and see us when your renewal's up. So,
No,
I guess if nobody else has anything, then can I go ahead and make a motion to approve a 1-year renewal for King Richard's Liquors?
Mhm. Just keep in mind that it has already been 1 year since they had the violation, so. Yeah, but just FYI.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna second. I was just thinking about something.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope we don't see this again. 3 times in one store is,
Two,
two,
sorry, two.
two. I was saying if I see you
But again, it'd be
again.
3
Right,
times.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I take selling to underage minors is very serious. Very serious. So I will second the motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor for a 1-year only renewal?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me get rid of this so I don't get myself confused. All right, next on the agenda, we have a transfer application for RR R 464371 DSM Barker LLC. Good morning.
Morning.
Can you state your names, please?
My name is Dale Moyer.
Sheila Moyer. And you are the owners. Did you post your orange sign
We did.
and you brought the affidavit?
To be completed, so you want us to complete it first?
Yep, you
Okay.
have to complete it. Just do it
Didn't do
before.
anything until we got it.
Okay, just do it before you leave.
Okay.
Make sure I get it.
You too.
So this is the Barker Inn
No, this is, the restaurant is Up in Smoke.
up in Smoke. Okay, there was no DBA on here, no listed, but you want it to be called Up in Smoke?
Well, the building, we own the building, and so
Okay.
the building is in an LLC that we call DSM Barker LLC.
Okay,
And then the restaurant is Up in Smoke. They're our tenant.
okay. So tell me, is it gonna stay Up in Smoke?
The restaurant will stay as Up in Smoke. correct?
Okay, the
Correct.
DBA is gonna stay Up in Smoke,
Correct.
okay. And you are, I made myself a note about this somewhere, but I can't find my notes. Up in Smoke has been there for a couple of few years, right?
It has been, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Operating under manager's questionnaire with the previous owner. And they're gonna continue basically doing what they're doing. You're just taking the alcohol permit back from, because you've already owned the building, you still own the building, you're getting the alcohol beverage permit in your control,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anybody, do you guys understand what I'm saying? What's
Yeah.
happening here? Okay,
So it's still active in the previous owner's name. We have an active permit,
right.
but it would be best that we put it in our names.
Okay, so yeah, you're controlling the building and the alcohol permit, but you are gonna keep the same manager for now.
Yes.
When operating the restaurant. Okay. Now I know, let's see, so your manager listed as, Janika?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so clearly she has alcohol experience because she's been doing this. So are you just relying on her or do you guys also have alcohol experience?
We're relying primarily on her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't had any issues with them, so as far as I know, she's doing a great job.
Good.
I hear a lot of good things about
Yeah.
the restaurant, but I don't know much.
Maybe one small issue that I might have, you got outside of the building, your signage, you have a canopy in the back that still says local option.
Mhm.
And that was that really ought to be taken down.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
We just bought the building in December,
Right.
so we were doing a lot of.
It's on
work.
us. It's on us to take care of. Yeah.
You can't have any signs to advertise business that have closed,
Okay.
so.
Gotcha.
That
Thank you.
might just one little thing, nothing about your alcohol permit or nothing.
Okay.
There's no alcohol statute that says you can't have that sign up there, put it that way.
Okay.
So it's not a violation with us at
You
all.
know, it's like it's
on the
local
list.
option.
Behind the roof and some other things.
So you just bought the building in
In
December?
December. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so long-term plans for the building, just to,
Keep it as is. It's,
Keep-
has a vibrant business inside. I think it's probably one of the more popular food destinations for Michigan City, folks. And, so everything will stay the same.
okay.
I just have a question. I never paid attention when I went over there. What, do you have a parking lot attached to that building?
There's a, gravel parking lot, to the west of it.
Mhm.
On the side of the building?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many cars can that lot hold?
Well, I would estimate probably about 6.
Okay,
The restaurant uses it as well for their smoking equipment, smokers out there. So we rely on her too. It's kind of up to her how she wants to use it, but again, that's on the list to,
no complaints from the neighbors about parking?
None.
you can park on the side. There's off-street parking as well on both sides. So a lot of people go in the side, which is
Mhm.
Maple.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think that's where I park when I have to go there.
Well, that's operated as a bar for years. I remember Charlie Morgan had his place there for years and Adam Parkhouse took it over and it was,
Okay.
all that. So it's been there for forever.
Yeah.
It's always been a good neighborhood spot and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we want to keep it going.
That's-
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what she wants is a nice
definitely-
neighborhood place.
forgive me, I move that we go ahead and, recommend, transfer.
Support.
Okay, a motion and a second. All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. That's it.
So we'll complete
Easy.
this and bring it back up to you.
Yeah, and you don't have to wait, just sneak it over here, it's fine.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Burke's Liquors number 5, DL 4632971. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, if you can state your names, please.
Nick Neat Burke,
Okay, are you one of the owners?
no manager.
No, manager. Okay, Nick, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And Joseph Zachman on behalf of Verk Liquors LLC. The two members of the limited liability company, one is seeing a doctor in Chicago today, and the other member is the one who took him there.
Okay, okay. And I know they were here last month, just for the record too, so. All right, so this is a transfer of location. It was approved as, I'm gonna back way up.
Okay.
It was applied for because there was, according to the ATC website, a permit available in Trail Creek for a liquor store. It was applied for under Verk Liquors as a location pending. And that was approved by the ATC. It's been in escrow. This hearing today is for the transfer of the location, which basically takes it from pending location to the 2134 East US Highway 20 in Trail Creek, which is, as in case anyone needs to know, the old Hammers location. So, that is why we are here today. However, there are remonstrators here. So if you want to make your case and then let the remonstrators go and then speak in rebuttal, you can do that.
Certainly.
Or we can skip this and let the remonstrators go and then you can go, however you choose to do it.
I would like to speak in rebuttal.
Okay, let them go first?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Michelle, I have a question for you.
Yes, yes.
Just for that, where did this liquor license transfer from
So, okay.
originally?
Yep, so, so according to what had happened, as you guys know, the Trail Creek Liquors that's in Evergreen Plaza has been there for 20-some years. Well, actually, I lied, because I've been on the department 33 years, and it's been there ever since. So it's been there way longer than me. It always had a Michigan City address linked to it, not a Trail Creek address. So when we get into the modern computer day and age, and it says the jurisdiction of Trail Creek has an alcohol permit because it didn't recognize that Trail Creek Liquors Michigan City address was in Trail Creek. So the ATC website looked like there was a permit available in Trail Creek. So when Burke applied for it, it went through the process because it looked like that was Michigan City, one was Michigan City and the other one would have been Trail Creek. Then it was brought up, through the whole process a year ago. I have the emails that basically, the senior operations manager for the Alcohol Tobacco Commission had emailed, Trail Creek Liquors and said, look, nothing is being reviewed further at this time. They didn't plan to review it. It was an address error, like more than one permit is being issued to Trail Creek. So, that is kind of where the ATC had left it, was that, there's nothing coming up. So that's how we got to this place of 2 permits.
Trail Creek is still open, right? They still have a liquor license, right?
Yes, Yep, Trail Creek was gonna stay open and, they state was going to, well.
And for some reason, it was listed under Michigan City. So
mhm.
we have anything from the surveyor or anybody certifying that?
That it's what? Michigan, no, it's Trail Creek.
Yeah.
It's Trail Creek. And it has since been corrected
Okay,
to reflect Trail Creek.
okay.
So, and furthermore, we have, been diligent about going through every permit in that area to make sure they are all listed as Trail Creek and not Michigan City, because most of them had always been listed as Michigan City, even though it's Trail Creek.
I got it.
It's a zip code issue that why it looked like Michigan City.
Okay.
So that's where we're at. Okay, so we'll let the remonstrators go. Frank, do you want to go first or do you want to go last?
Just go in the, on which, so the prior owner was sent letters.
Thank you.
So much. We found attorney and then we would go.
Okay, sure. We're gonna have all the remonstrators. Yep. Good
Hello.
morning.
Hi,
Please state your name, please.
my name is Robin Oshinsky.
Okay.
Lauren.
And you are resident nearby or what is your?
Actually, I'm his daughter and you could say I'm a property owner in Evergreen Plaza,
Okay,
by trust. And so I would like to just address the mistake that I'm
Mhm.
hearing about.
mm-hmm,
Now, I lived across the street from Trail Creek Liquors many years ago in an old white farmhouse. And that was Michigan City. I could go down to the Michigan City Park and get a park sticker for free because I lived in Michigan City. Few years later, I moved right behind Trail Creek Liquors in a red brick house, 2001 Redwood Drive, Michigan City, Indiana, but it was Trail Creek. When I went to get my park sticker, I had to pay because I no longer lived in Michigan City. It was Trail Creek.
okay.
Everyone who lives in Trail Creek, back in that day at least, maybe it's changed, used Michigan City addresses.
Mhm.
We didn't write Trail Creek, Indiana, and we were concerned if we did, nobody would know where to take it. So I don't know either gentleman. I'm not here to harm either of them in any way. But my father, who was the original owner of Trail Creek Liquors in Trail Creek, can verify that there was a Trail Creek license, packaged liquor license from day one. And to say any other way is incorrect. And it was a mistake, just as we heard earlier about mistakes. This was a mistake that is now bringing in a group of people trying to sort it out. And I feel for the man who put considerable amount of money into a building to be able to have his, but I also feel for the man who has originally had the Trail Creek liquor license for, I think he said 22 years.
Yes, I think he has had it for real.
So Dad, would you like to make a comment?
All I could say is I developed that whole center with my wife. And we put Trail Creek Liquor in right from the beginning in 1970. And then it went naturally, as we got older, we sold out to other people, and Ken has it now. And I feel he's a stable person in maintaining the health of the center and everything that goes on. I lived in two houses in back of, on Walnuts Road. The second house off of Johnson Road going west on Walnuts Road. We lived there for 33 years. And in the house, prior to that, from 1955, we built our first house on Walnuts Road when it was the road, and that's when we built all those houses in that area, my wife and I did. And we developed the center, and we put Trail Creek Liquors in there, and we feel it's a stable position in the center to keep the center alive. Because when you start taking the main business out of the center, you start hurting the center and all these people that are working in there to make a living for their family. And I
Not to
feel,
mention the
and I would
property
like,
taxes behind that as well, the homes behind that.
and I feel that I would like to see it stay stable like it is. So these people can all make their living. And I feel that we got a man that's there doing a very good job of doing a nice job with this, the liquor store that's in there. And I don't feel that the property that is considered on the corner of Johnson and 20 is a viable position for a store, because there's very little way for traffic to get in and out of there. And the big semis, when they go in there, they have a series of problems with them running over the septic system, and it would eventually be a problem. And I think that's as far as I'm gonna go with it.
I would just like to add that for some reason, this was very bothersome to me, because in watching them build their business, if there was any violation, they were right on him. And he was doing his best. When he built it there were no homes around it. It was farmland and a liquor store. Now, if you look at Johnson Road, those are all homes going down there. I've been on that intersection where a large coil of steel fell off a semi right where my car would have been if I hadn't made the last minute choice to go to the gas station. My understanding, it's called ingress and egress. There's no in or out ways for that. I think they're trying to take like a supper club and that had traffic that came and stayed for several hours and left into roving traffic. Again, I'm not against either person. I don't know them. I just think that in that small community, this is not about liquor sales to 2,000 people. It's about truck traffic going through on 20. They have widened those highways because they know in the future, probably heading towards the battery plants and the data centers, there's going to be a lot more traffic there. To be forward thinking, I think that would be play into this decision. And I thank you for allowing me to speak.
I just make one point of order. Your farmhouse and it was across the street. That wasn't in the civil city of Michigan City. It was in unincorporated Cool Spring Township, but they had a Michigan City address. Across here, that's unincorporated. The city limits go to up to Woodland Avenue.
Perhaps I can't argue your point, but I know that it has changed. When Rogers High School moved there, they had to make that Michigan City and then allow their water to run down into.
No, that was still unincorporated.
Not to get off too far off the subject, but Wally, I don't know if you remember, because we used to rent the office from Wally for years and
Exactly.
years. And our
Yes.
address was Michigan City too, so I do understand like the address thing, so.
So
Okay.
anyway, thanks for allowing us to
Thank you.
speak. And I think
Thank you for all.
both of us are not against anyone. We just would like to see the rules followed the way they should be written, that are written.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for everybody.
Speaking, Mr. Kraft.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, next.
Not your pleasure, not his.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Christopher Willoughby, Brady Nelson and James, 126 East Fifth Street in Michigan City, here on behalf of the town of Trail Creek as the town attorney.
Okay,
First order, may I,
yes.
be forthcoming with this? I didn't know he was the Trail Creek attorney, but I did, when I started, I got a phone call from Tommy. And then I just actually, started doing my due diligence, and I wanted to see how the people of Trail Creek feel. And I reached out to their representatives. and city council members or town members, and I just wanted to know, how do they feel about Verk's Liquor Store being there and it's coming there? And, I've been hearing about a lot of money being spent, a lot of stuff doing, so I just went about doing my due diligence to see how the elected officials feel. Unfortunately, I was only able to get in touch with one, and just, I just wanted to say that.
Okay,
So I just want to make sure that's on the record.
Or if I did too, it's Councilwoman Jenny Heath, County Councilwoman Jenny Heath, and so she wasn't happy about the Brooks being in there either. And I want to let her know that what's going on. Tell all your people in Trail Creek what's going on there.
okay, well, we're about to hear from the city of, or the town of Trail Creek right now, so we're gonna hear how they feel.
Well, all this is a good example when town clerk treasurers tell everybody to use their town as the address instead of the city, because Pop Park, Long Beach, Trail Creek, it's an issue for everybody. Right?
It absolutely
So
is.
there's a good
Yep.
example. And I want to start by saying I have the utmost respect. I've been involved on, opposite side, but many deals with the Verks, and I have the utmost respect for them. I have even more so, and that's not to diminish any respect for the Verks, more respect for their attorney. And Mr. Zach Noon and I have lots of work together over the years, so everything that I'm about to say is not to leave the impression or insinuation that anything has been done underhanded or to misrepresent, but we could point to the previous license that was there that contributes to an issue like this. Is that a grandfathered Michigan City license or not? And it doesn't matter. That train has left the station and that license is somewhere else. This is a different type. But I am here at the direction of the town to remonstrate against this, relocation, right? And transfer of location. And regardless of what happens, the statute is very clear. There's only one packaged liquor store license allowed for every 8,000. And the town of Trail Creek's population is below that threshold. And so whatever that is, and I recognize locally you hear it, and then you make a recommendation, whatever that is, thumbs up, thumbs down, indifferent. And then the state level is gonna make a determination regardless of your decision. But this is a real problem, and it's going to continue to be, because we do not believe they had any authority to issue any license, mistake or otherwise. And even if it was purchased, to then grant a final permit to allow this to operate. Now, I would say that I understand the plight of investing money and going through and getting a permit. However, the responsibility at the outset is on the applicant. The applicant, one of the forms, and I'm very familiar with the process, has to submit to you. And somewhere along the line, they submitted something from the surveyor's office that certifies what municipality, where this is located. And I have a packet of information for you, and one of which includes correspondence this morning from the surveyor's office that includes a map that shows the jurisdiction of Trail Creek, the location of this property, and confirmation that this property is in the town of Trail Creek. So by virtue of the existence of the other license, this one cannot exist. It cannot be approved. And I will leave this with you. So, it was interesting because I don't know where this previous permit, I'd be interested to know, but I only recently was directed to be here. So, where that license came from, and if it's a Michigan City license already and it became available, it doesn't get to be transferred in. I don't believe that there's any jurisdiction or authority of this board or the state level to approve that. But I do have copies just for the record, and again, to leave with you. The ATC's records that are available online, a copy of the Indiana Code, section 7.1-3-22-5, which confirms that there is only one packaged liquor store allowed in an incorporated city or town for each 8,000 persons. A copy of the map from the surveyor's office, and confirmation to my paralegal this morning that says that this property is within the Trail Creek limits. And a copy of the beacon record, and although that can't be relied on for all purposes, but it is evidence that we look at to show that this property is clearly within the town of Trail Creek. So again, based on that authority, and I have for each of you.
Thank you.
Based-
Sorry, Chris,
Oh, that's
I'm
okay.
just gonna label your packet as Demonstrator Exhibit 1.
And I have a copy that I'll give to Mr. Zach Noon as well. So Based on that, that is the basis of the direction that I've been instructed to be here and represent on the town's behalf, that they are adamantly opposed to granting this permit. We do not believe that it was legal. We do not believe that you have a legal basis or authority to allow it, despite whatever that clerical error may have been at the state level. And, that might be a different issue for Mr. Zachman and his clients, but we do not believe that there is a valid permit unless they were somehow to make a deal with the existing one. Thank you.
May I?
Yeah, I have one quick question. So Trail Creek, how long has that been Trail Creek? Because like you said, we got issues with Long Beach, like same sort of thing, like people going in their Michigan City address, but how long has Trail Creek been Trail Creek?
Since the early 1900s, it's a
Okay.
long time, certainly longer than when Mr. Pritz started his.
Okay, okay. I just wondered,
Mhm.
but it hasn't expanded, it hasn't.
It hasn't, there has been discussion. No, it has been incorporated for quite some time, and in fact, it was started by the Risky Brothers, were Risky Avenue, and they had a brick factory, so the whole history, it isn't anything new, there isn't any mergers or anything like that, annexations that have gone on that involve this property.
Okay, thanks.
What is the population of Trail Creek, roughly?
It is just around 1,000, give or take.
It's 1,985,
You based it off what, Tommy?
just what I've looked up.
Okay. And when you say you're here for the people of Trail Creek, that township, that board,
The council.
the council, did all the council members wanted you to come here, or was it one, or?
I have been directed, and I am representing to you that I represent the council.
Has it been rezoned? Do you know if that area has been rezoned?
I would say I've been the attorney there for approximately 4 to 5 years, and not to my knowledge.
Okay. I have no other questions.
As far as the corner there
Yes.
being rezoned?
Yes,
Okay, from what to what do you think?
I don't know. I
Just wondered, okay.
Yes, just one.
But I can represent that there isn't any current issue before the town that has been raised that zoning is an issue. So, and they have had build it, just to be forthright for your picture. I mean, they have been granted permits to do construction. So that part of it, but there isn't any zoning issue of which I'm aware.
Okay,
So you saying that the town has actually gave permits to start construction?
Yes, they have no choice. When somebody complies with the law and they apply for a building permit, they have no option but to allow them to make improvements. The actual use of it and whether they have a permit comes up. Unfortunate maybe for them is that this is on the back end, and this is the process when the town is made aware.
So when did the town become aware that they were trying to open up a liquor store?
Between last month and this month unfortunately, and this is my own personal, they became aware. I think it was mentioned before when, maybe a year plus ago about, and this is recollection only, so this part of it, I do remember being at a meeting and somebody brought up that there was a potential one. And then the question came, hey, are there more liquor licenses that are allowed? And then the discussion and response was, those are based on their quotas, right? There's population, they only get updated every 10 years. And that was it. This current, what's pending before you is between last month and this month is when the town has become interested by notice. And
Are you familiar with the permit procedure for the town?
meaning construction?
Yes. Is there anywhere in the permits when they go apply permits, what
I don't know what that is. And quite honestly, the town wouldn't be privy to whether they have a valid liquor permit or what goes, or nor would they be
I'm
proactive.
not speaking
Yeah,
about the permit.
yeah.
I'm not speaking about the liquor permit. Did the town have any idea when they issued the permit, was there any place in the application for the permit that they were gonna open up a liquor store?
Not really sure about that. I don't know.
And if,
I do know they started work without a permit,
would
but
you,
that was fixed. So
would you agree with me though, if they would have known, if such document does exist, that would have been a proper time for the council to object, wouldn't it? or say, hey, we don't,
No, because I would not agree for this reason. The town has no obligation and generally no involvement with a license. So until something is pending, they would have no reason to go fishing or it's not a requirement for them to want to do construction or decide what they want to do. For all we know, they could have a contract with Trail Creek Liquors to transfer or move or do whatever they wanted. So there would be nothing in my mind that would man, I see where you're going with it and valid points if they were on notice, but the law is the law.
Right.
And they can't operate. Yep.
Well, and most people are not going to understand that there's a difference, what we're dealing with Michigan City versus Trail Creek and only one liquor store available. The public's not gonna understand any of that on the surface. So somebody could have seen a permit come through and think Trail Creek Liquors is in Michigan City.
Well, and there was
You know,
discussion about a gas station going there. There was discussion about the combo and because of that permit.
I think I had heard that.
yeah, I'm not here about I'm not debating the permit, alcohol permit. I'm just wondering when they actually started doing their renovation to that building
Mhm.
and their permits, did they put in there anywhere that they were going to do a liquor store?
Yeah, I think we already established nobody knows that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right
And maybe
now,
Mr.
so-
Zachman will know, right?
Yeah,
He's-
yeah,
he
nobody knows
represents
that answer right now.
It
so-
was my impression when we came here last month that Burks had bought the Hammers building. And they had also purchased the permit from Trail Creek Liquors. That was what was mine, but that's not,
No.
obviously not. the
I
case.
watched the meeting and
that's not
I
the
don't,
law.
I actually think that they didn't, I think both of
Well,
those parties cleared it up.
we asked him where the permit came from. He really didn't want to tell us.
Well, I think this is my
He said it's a
recollection.
Michigan City
Well, we
permit
can
for Trail Creek, but that don't make no
It's
sense.
Tommy, calm down a
Okay.
minute, okay? None of that is correct. You misunderstood that. I guarantee that is not correct because nobody said that permit came from Trail Creek Liquors. That's a new permit that was already applied for. It's been pending location in escrow. Yeah, so
And I do concede that part is I believe that the representation was that this was a purchased available Trail Creek permit.
Correct.
Right or wrong of whether it was classified, they purchased a Trail Creek permit. Whether that's legal or not is a different question.
correct, exactly.
Well,
Anything else?
No, I'm good. Thank
Okay,
you very
thank
much
you
for your
so
time.
much.
I'd like to read the statute in its entirety. So,
Nope, you don't need to. Thank you. Okay, Frank.
So my client has gathered a list of signatures against that. And I think if he's numbered that correctly, it's like 247.
This was started at 2 PM yesterday,
Okay,
so
so this is a petition, let's see, that basically is against the new Verks liquors, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to label this petition as Remonstrator Exhibit 2. Okay,
Okay, so the position for Madeira Inc. is the one that operates the Trail Creek Liquor. King Patel is an officer in that entity. I'm the attorney representing that entity here today on the issue. There had been correspondence back and forth with Jeff Coyle back and forth about a year ago, let's say. And to sum it up, there was this issue about the location and the zip code. And again, it seemed as the officer testified or stated that the ATC was probably willing to allow both permits to exist, that they weren't doing any further investigation or review of that. Now this has come to a head because Verks is wanting to put it in the current location that it's at that old Hammers location, which is not too far away from the Trail Creek location. And it was brought up by the prior monsters. This appears to be, again, just a genuine mistake that there shouldn't be issued. So what are the consequences if something is issued? There's economic consequences. You have a small population in Trail Creek. You're going to divide that between two stores. He's the main tenant in that shopping center, as was specified by the shopping center owner. So if that affects him, that affects that shopping center and the viability of that shopping center. That affects people who are employed there, people who work there and live around that neighborhood. And it threatens the economic viability and structure of that area. We've also heard that you're gonna have additional traffic coming in and out off of that main road. That would be disruptive to the area. My client's main point, I think, still wants to be basically with regard to if there was one Trail Creek license for that area, and it's clear that his license existed there from at least 1970, then the law should be followed that there's one license there. It's nothing personal against Burks. We understand that they made a substantial investment in remodeling this property and trying to bring this forward on this. We acknowledge that they're a direct competitor, so you have to take anything that we say clearly that it's biased. And, in my client's favor because they're direct competitors on that. Nothing against them personally, but if the rule is that there's one based on the population, then we're asking that the local board maintain that. We understand that our options, and if the board were to approve it, it goes down there, that we have a petition to intervene that would file down there at the commission on that. We thank you for your time. And Ken, would you like to say something else with regard to the remonstrance?
Yes. So as one of the thing was, most of the people thought, like we had customers coming, they keep asking us, when are you moving? When are you moving? So most of the people thought that we are moving. So they didn't know that was a new license that's being, given out. So most of the people thought that we are moving. So that is, so many people didn't know that there was a second liquor store coming.
And they asked that because they saw the orange sign or because you were
It's
having
just
a petition?
no, the petition. Actually, I just started this yesterday at 2 p.m.
Okay,
So whatever signature you see is after 2 p.m. in 8 hours.
okay.
So
Well, we'll get to the petition. I have a couple questions in a second, but when did they start asking you, when are you moving? Why?
since they saw the construction and people,
And just the
like
bus.
what's coming and
Okay.
yeah.
So question about the petition. I see that most of these, like, there's no addresses here. Are these local residents? Are these travelers? Like, who's signing this petition?
Whoever came to the store. So it's hard, means, if you want, we can get more detailed of those things and we can get more people sign, if you want. This is just collected in 8 hours.
Okay,
Like yesterday at 2 p.m. when I talked to him, he says, can you bring people over here? I says, no, we don't want to bring people over here. I'll get people signed, so it will be easier,
right. Okay, all right. 'Cause I know I know we usually look at that like, just knowing that local residents have a little bit louder voice
Yeah,
than
means
some of
I
the
can try,
travelers.
if we need it, we can get that way too, we can approach each and every house and,
Okay,
get
no,
their
that's okay.
opinion, yeah.
Okay, questions for anybody, Tommy, for Frank or Ken?
No, I don't. Neither do I.
Okay,
Thank you for the opportunity to hear.
Thank you.
thank you. All right, nobody else, I don't believe, so Verk, you're up.
Thank you. In response, the permit was acquired from the ATC in Indianapolis, and it was listed as a Trail Creek permit, a permit available for use in Trail Creek. And on that basis, Verg Liquors LLC purchased the permit on the understanding that they had a valid Trail Creek permit. They invested, nearly $1 million in acquiring the Hammers property. And they spent close to $700,000 to improve the property, all on the understanding that they had a valid Trail Creek permit. Now, what I don't know, and I don't know if the record is clear on it, when Trail Creek Liquors originally acquired its permit, was it a Michigan City permit or was it a permit issued for the town of Trail Creek? I don't know if the record is clear on that. Does the board have any understanding?
I believe it was just a zip code issue where, like I said, we used to have an office in Evergreen Plaza. right? The next building next door to Trail Creek Liquors, and our address was Michigan City.
Sure.
Everybody put Michigan City, like they said. And kind of like the attorney, the Trail Creek Town Attorney had mentioned, we are reviewing, I am making sure we are reviewing Long Beach and all those other small areas so we don't run into the same issue, because a lot of them have always had Michigan City address.
Mhm.
And you got to consider that was back when, you know, we're using paper, right? Everybody's using paper, nothing's on computer, and there was no like able to, you know, Google a zip code
Right.
and all. So,
Yeah.
I do not know, I think when Mr. Patel bought the Trail Creek, he just put what they had prior, which was Michigan City. And
Understood.
that's kind of how it, so I don't know what happened before that. Put it that
Yeah.
way.
But to the point of the attorney for the town of Trail Creek citing the statute, if in fact a Michigan City permit has been operated in Trail Creek, then the Trail Creek permit that my clients acquired from the ATC would be the valid permit.
Mhm.
If, however, the ATC is going to allow both permits to operate, then I would suggest that this board should recommend to the ATC that the permit transfer be approved. Couple of responses to some of the remonstrators. There was a comment about semis running over a septic system. The septic system, there's approximately how many acres is the property at Hammers?
I'm not exactly sure. but-
3.5 acres.
Okay.
The septic system is located under an unimproved portion. There's no parking lot there. There's grass above it, so no semis are going to be parking on top of a septic system causing any sort of damage. Another point was it's not viable. Well, obviously, Mr. Oshinsky hasn't done traffic surveys. He hasn't done any sort of research to know whether a liquor store at that corner is viable. I would point out it's a busy intersection. It's the intersection of Johnson Road and US 20. There's a Family Express there that's been there for decades. Obviously, a business there is viable. I don't think the issue of any additional traffic is a real issue. Hammers operated there for years and years and had customers coming in and going to the restaurant, and traffic never seemed to be an issue there. Again, as to the provenance of this, I think it's going to be critical to determine if what we have here is a Michigan City license operating in Trail Creek, such that the license which my clients purchased from the ATC, on the ATC's representation that this is a valid, existing, but just vacant Trail Creek permit, should carry a lot of weight with this board. And again, this board is making a recommendation to the ATC, and for that reason, I think there's a strong incentive for the board to recommend that the permit be allowed to transfer. As to the current owner's survey, you properly brought up what I would bring up. Who are these people? Are these some person from Iowa who was traveling through on his or her way east and stopped in at a liquor store and said, I don't know anything about Hammers. I don't know anything about Burke's. I don't know anything about your business, but I'm willing to sign this petition. And I think one of the most salient points is that, as the attorney for the current owner of Trail Creek pointed out, Burke's will be competition to them. And that's probably one of the most salient reasons why they're here remonstrating. It's because they don't want the competition. So Nick is here to answer any questions that you may have. But again, I would ask that the board recommend to the ATC that the permit be allowed. Again, if it's a Michigan City permit operating in Trail Creek, then clearly they have the permit that should be allowed to open. And second, if the ATC is going to allow both stores to remain open, then there certainly should be, given what $1.6 million they put into this project. And by the way, as to economic activity, they're going to employ people there too. That's going to generate property tax and other taxes, income tax, that the taxpayers are going to benefit from, and the local government and the state government. All are going to be able to collect their taxes. Employees pay taxes on their wages. They will pay taxes on their income. They will pay taxes on all sorts of things. So they're going to be an economic benefit and a benefit to the tax base as well. Thank you.
Mhm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you fill out the permits to get the, construction started?
No.
Do you know if,
I do not know if there, but that's a salient point. And if there was some indication
so you
that,
don't know?
that's correct.
So, okay. You've been practicing law for how long?
Oh, 30 plus years.
And you wasn't familiar with the IC code?
I am familiar with the IC code.
So this, the statute is what it is, right? I mean, it says,
Understood.
yes. So, but just for me on the record, I just want to say, we're not here for Trail Creek liquors. Nobody's filed a complaint. I feel Trail Creek has a valid permit. If they didn't, we would have addressed that a long time ago. I'm not buying that argument at all. I believe that the state statute speaks for itself. And then also the township, the town itself don't want works there. That's my opinion. That's just what I've asked. I have no other questions.
Any questions?
You,
Sorry.
didn't, you invested $1.6 million not knowing that, municipalities with less than 8,000 residents are only capped at one, package store, dealer's permit?
Well, the Trail Creek Liquors permit was, as has been established here, operating under what we believe was a Michigan City address. And so the understanding when the permit became available from the ATC as a Trail Creek permit, that that's what they were buying, a Trail Creek permit, and that there wasn't another permit being operated, another Trail Creek permit being operated.
And nobody knows where this Trail Creek permit originally came from that you acquired.
Well, I'm
It
sure
came
the
from the
ATC
ATC
does.
website,
Okay.
The
Yeah.
ATC sold it.
right?
I know the same situation happened in the town of Maryville a few years ago. There was a Raising Cane's that went into a plaza, but there was a McDonald's there and they had an agreement that no other, fast food establishment can go in there. So they ended up spending over $1 million and they ended up having to scrap the Raising Cane's.
Well, that sounds like a lease issue to me.
Well, yeah, this is an unfortunate mess, truthfully, because I totally understand why Berks bought this permit with the understanding that there's one available and the other one is in Michigan City. Yeah, I did make a note to find out about to look into the Michigan City quota. Because that is something, you have a valid point. If the Trail Creek Liquors is under the Michigan City quota, then that would open up the license for Verks. And that would take a little bit of digging, but I made a note because I definitely think that's a valid thing to look into. And I'm not indicating one thing or another either way, but just out of curiosity, if it comes that, okay, you can't operate Burke's liquor store in the Hammers location, is a convenience store at all, like a beer and wine only? Is that something? I don't know if there's one available, but I'm just trying to understand, like, because I would hate to see $1.6 million investment, go down the drain too, so.
Oh, I agree. And certainly I think at this point, they want to be able to open and operate the liquor store
Mhm.
as intended.
Yeah, okay,
Michelle, I have a question for you.
yep.
And I think I don't want to assume, however we rule today, they can appeal our ruling, correct?
Yep.
Well, so yes, for everybody here today. So when the board votes today, we are only making a recommendation to the ATC one way or the other, whether they would issue the Verks permit and allow the two stores to operate, or they deny the Verks permit, allowing only Trail Creek Liquors to operate. That is basically what will be recommending when we place our vote today. That will then go to the state for commission review, and they will decide whether or not to uphold our ruling or overturn our ruling. At the point they uphold our ruling, then either party can file an appeal requesting a remonstration if they, or a hearing down at the ATC. If they overturn our decision, then the opposite party would be offered that opportunity to file an appeal. Then it would go completely start from scratch. So all of these petitions and all these documents could go to a new hearing at the state with, giving both sides ample opportunity to present new evidence and everything to the ATC to make a ruling on this.
And I believe there's even appeals to the court system.
Yes, it can go higher than that. Yes, it can definitely go higher than that. So I hate to say, I think this needs to be addressed by the ATC. Our vote here today is not in favor of one or the other, just so all you gentlemen understand that too. We're not voting one way or the other based on anybody. It's just what the law allows and what we can and cannot do. And then, like I said, this definitely needs to be reviewed by the ATC. The ATC meets on the first and third Tuesday of every month. This will not go to them on the third Tuesday of this month. We need to give them a little bit of time to review all the documents presented today and to, kind of get their head wrapped around. So it'll probably go to the first Tuesday of July. Okay, just so everybody knows, like, this is not easy. It's a little complicated. So questions for me?
If we approve this, wouldn't that open up Pandora's box for all the other towns with less than 8,000 to have more than one liquor store, like Westville and La Crosse and Wanata and Rolling Prairie and all around the state?
And that is what you are gonna have to decide when you place your vote today.
Yeah, I just want to say for the record, I mean, if you invest 1.6 million, I would at least invested I would invest at least 0.1 in a lawyer to make sure that all my I's was dotted and my T's was crossed. I mean, this is a hell of an investment, and the statute is standing right here in front of you. That's a problem. So
I
I would like to
understand.
respond to that.
Well, I will respond to that. I understand what you guys are saying, but I don't care if you are Mr. Verk or if you are the attorney. Either one is I could have gotten on the ATC website and said, oh, there's a permit available in Trail Creek. So nobody did anything wrong.
no, I'm not saying
It was just a
nobody's
mistake.
doing nothing wrong.
I'm just saying, there's no way that anyone would have realized that that wasn't actually a valid permit. And if this Michigan City liquor store thing, I don't know, it may end up being, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't kick the can down the road, and like I said, I represent the county. I heard how Trail Creek representatives feel, and at this point in time, I move that we do not, I move that we do not, allow the liquor license
Okay,
I make
recommendation.
there's a motion for a denial.
I'd like to add to that, there should be pursuant to Indiana Code 7.1-3-22-5. With that, I'll second the motion.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor of denying the location transfer for Burks signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So again, this is just a recommendation to the state that based on the IC code, that we can't issue a second permit in Trail Creek. And then, like I said, first Tuesday of July, I will make sure all the documents are down there and for review. So,
Could I ask for a copy of the, I guess it was the list of signatures on the petition?
you have to get that from like the public records request.
Okay.
I can't give.
Okay, understood.
Sorry. Do you guys have any other questions? Is there any other questions on the on this issue from anybody to the board?
I would just like to say that this is the first time I've been to a meeting like this,
Mhm.
and I felt that you were very fair and listened to everyone's concerns, and that I appreciated.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, that's the last thing on the agenda. So if there's nothing else, I'll make a motion to approve the what month is it?
Is May,
May minutes, yes.
I move to approve the May minutes.
Okay, I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
You
Okay,
need to gotta do the April minutes too, or is?
No.
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 Mm-mm, mm-mm. Okay, meeting is adjourned
All right.
11:15.
at 11:15.